Everybody got quiet. How is everybody? Is this, are you quiet because it was the first day back at school? Is it?
Everybody's tired.
Yeah. Oh, you're excited about it. Well, it is so really, 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 really awesome to see everybody. I just flew in from Arizona and just got back at about 4:30 and just pulled into here at about 10 till 6. And so my brain is a little foggy, but I wanted to make sure I got up early this morning, got an Uber at the hotel at 5:30. My Uber driver was in his mid to late 70s.
That's the best.
And he told me he was from Los Angeles. And I always ask the question, what's the most interesting thing about you? And he said, well, And I told him why I asked. I sat in the front seat, which I realized I'm not supposed to do. I don't Uber enough. So I got in the front seat. He looked at me like I was about to murder him. And I said, am I breaking a rule? He goes, no, rules are made to be broken. I said, then that means yes, I'm breaking a rule. And he said, no, sit up here. Let me move my stuff. So he moved some things, and I thought, am I supposed to sit in the back? And I guess when you Uber, you're supposed to sit in the back. But I wanted to talk to him, so we sat in the front. And the most interesting thing about him, he said, I went to school in Los Angeles, and for my high school prom, our band that performed at our high school prom was the Beach Boys.
What? That's so cool.
And I was like, that is pretty fascinating. I was
That
like,
is really cool.
John, his name was John. I said, John, you might win the prize this week. Of all the people I meet, you have the most interesting fact that the Beach Boys played at your prom. Okay, we're going to do something a little different because just want to affect the guys back there, but we do have somebody that said to me a couple weeks ago, when do the teens get back together next? And I said, well, it's going to be January the 7th. And I said, then I got something to tell them. And I was like, okay. Now, normally I like to get an edited version of like, what are we about to hear? What are you about to say? And there are sometimes, if one of you says, I want to get up in front and say something, I'm going to have to know a little more information. But when this individual came to me and said, I want to share something, and they're going to want to hear it, and you're going to want to hear it, you need to know, one, I have no idea what we're about to hear, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be good. And it's Mr. Adam Bryson. So Adam, come on up here. Everybody give Adam a big hand. Now, I probably should have reached out to Violet or Natalie and said, do we just give your dad a microphone to just say whatever he wants to say? Because I really have no idea. And Adam is a dear friend, and I trust him. And I'm excited to hear what he's going to say. I've been excited about this. Now, I also want you all to know, Adam is the principal at
Mitchell Nelson.
At Mitchell Nelson, and
I got it. Next time.
And I will let you all know that he is kind of single-handedly responsible for the success we had on Monday night of our toy drive. I use the word success because we were all a little overwhelmed. And I felt the whole night like I did when my daughter was on the roller coaster with me when she was younger, and I'm having to convince her that we're having a great time. Right? This is so fun. Aren't you having so much fun? Isn't this great? And she's like, no, this is so fun. Ha ha, I'm laughing. Look at how much fun I'm having. And that whole night, everybody had like this deer in the headlights look, and like, where are these kids coming from? And then they're like, well, another bus just pulled in. More kids are coming in. And it was like, what is going on? And they all started showing up, and it was crazy. And Adam told me before, he said, hey, you need to know, Monday night, all of my kids that are invited, I'm going to get them there. Now, we did find out that one school that was supposed to come on Tuesday came on Monday. So 40 kids that were supposed to come on Tuesday came on Monday. So that's why we had 170 kids. But Adam said, hey, every kid at my school was invited is going to be there because I'm going to get them there. And Adam took this very, very seriously. So, having said that, to set all that up, I want to say thank you to Adam for being a principal of a lot of the kids that we love. And then you said you had a story. I really don't know the story, so I'm excited.
Well,
not
necessarily a story, and
okay.
I didn't prepare anything, so I couldn't have told you anything beforehand. So
okay.
You'd have just said come up anyways. But I just wanted to come up briefly because you guys saw Monday night of Christmas night. I hope you saw my smile. A little bit about my school, y'all. It's right down the street, like maybe 5 minutes from here. 90% of my students are on free lunch. I got 60 kids that are considered homeless. It's McKinney-Vento, but it's deemed they're in some way homeless. I got kids that are coming from situations that you couldn't imagine. Even this morning, I dealt with a situation that brought me to my knees. On a daily basis, these kids are just going home to sometimes not a lot. And so when it comes to the Christmas party, I called David, I said, David, can I bring 100 kids or so? And he said, maybe not that many.
I didn't say that.
Maybe not. I can't remember how the conversation went.
I said you bring as many as you want.
You did, you're right. And I hand-delivered 100 invitations, not because I felt like my kids had to get presents, because I wanted you guys to pour into them, because I know what you guys are all about, and I wanted my students to see it. And I wanted them to feel the love that you guys have, because it's easy to just hand money out, right? It's so easy to be like, hey, there's poor kids down the street, let's just raise money. But when you take time to just sit with somebody and get to know them, and I know they're hard, trust me, I deal with it on a daily basis. Some of y'all had hard kids, but you may have been the only person that hugged them that night. You may have been the only person that just smiled at them, and it means so much. And my favorite part is the next day at school, when those kids got off the bus, and there was about 120, we'll say, every single one of them wore their coat with pride like you wouldn't imagine. And it was like walking through Mitchell Nielsen, there was this club of these rainbow bright girl coats that every girl was wearing, and every boy was wearing. And the energy at my school was different that day. We had kids coming up being like, man, you should have gone to that party. We prayed and we did this. And it was like North Boulevard was at Mitchell Nielsen for the day because of you guys. So no amazing story, sorry. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to stand up in front of you guys and say thank you. Because it means a lot to me. And it meant a lot to my students. And so just know those little things you do, guys, y'all may have made Christmas for a whole kid because of what you did that night. So thank you for doing that, and I appreciate you giving me a chance to say that.
That's incredible. That's amazing. Thank you, Adam. Thank you very much. Yeah, that was awesome. I have missed so much as being together, because the last time we were together was December the 10th, at least in this kind of a setting. We had our skating party on the 17th. And then we deliberately kind of give some space to breathe where you all can spend time doing things together. And we don't want to overload your calendar with all kinds of things to do because you're already busy. But we've missed each other. At least I've missed you all. And I can't wait to worship tonight. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. And so when I got up early this morning in Arizona, I was like, I just can't wait to get back there because I wanted to be able to see you. So I'm really excited about that. And we have a lot to do tonight. I don't know, I sent a text out that said if we got 180 students. See, last year in January, the first 3 True Norths of January last year, we had 180 students, which kind of blew our minds. We weren't expecting that many people. We don't know where they came from. And so we thought, what was it about January? A lot of times people are like, I haven't been in a while. I'm going to start. I'm going to go back. That may be you. If that's you, fabulous. I don't know that it doesn't look like we might have reached that number tonight, but if we did reach that number, then we're going to let you get a piece of paper up here, write your name, and we'll draw a half-price Winterfest and announce that next week if you're here at the end of True North. So you got to hang around if we have that many people. Bill will come and let me know at some point. Here's where we got to. But if we get to 180 tonight or next week or the next week, in January, if we reach 180 students, on the night that we do that, we're going to do a drawing for a half-price Winterfest, and the only people that will not be eligible to win are those who won from the toy drive stuff, okay? So that's our deal with you all. We'd love for you to invite your friends. Some of you know somebody in our group who is just not here, who hasn't been in a while. We'd love for you to call them. I mean, everybody here knows somebody. They're like, I haven't seen this person. Where's that girl? Where's that guy? And you can say, hey, all it's going to take is you to call and say, I'd love for you to come with me. I'd love to see you. And they'll show up. So Bill's going to get a count, and we'll go from there. But let's jump in because we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. You guys ready to go? If you do have a cell phone, let's silence that so it's not going to be a problem with anybody. And if you got drinks from our dinner tonight, hold on to those. Make sure that they're in a container. We don't want to clean up any spills, and we'll give you a chance to do that. Hey, a quick word that I don't have on my list, but I want to make sure we remind everybody. Just a little bit of family business, okay? Nobody is in trouble, but I just want to make sure that everybody's aware of of two quick things. One, we have our game items in the back. We need to do a better job of taking care of those. And you all can help us. Nobody's in trouble. I'm not mad at anybody at all. But we don't want drinks on the ping pong tables or on the pool table or carpet ball table. No drinks. If you got it, say no drinks. We also don't want you to sit on any of those tables. Whether even leaning against them is not wise. Those are not chairs, so don't lean against them. Everybody say no sitting or no leaning. No sitting. All right, just help us out. Just help us out with that. Also, you need to play those games the way they were designed to be played. If you're playing pool, you're playing pool. You're not playing carpet ball on the pool table. If you're playing carpet ball, our in-house rule, and you guys have to police this. It's not my desire to go around and put an adult back there, but we've had some damage back there, and we've had some things that have gone missing. And our in-house rule is if the ball leaves the table for any reason, if you roll it so hard and the ball leaves the table, then you're done with carpet ball for that game. You got to sit out. Your game's over. And you all have to help us police that. I don't want to sound like the bad guy up here, but we had a broken window. We've had some broken pool sticks. We've had some broken ping pong tables, and we just need everybody to be helpful, okay? All right, everybody got it? Everybody good? We good with that? And hey, don't get it. I'm not asking you to get rat on people and get them in trouble. One thing you know is we have cameras and everything back there, so if something happens, we are going to know who did it. And it's way better if you come to me and say, I did this and I broke this and it's a problem, and then we'll fix it from there. But I got to get that out of the way. Let's have a lot of fun. We wouldn't buy those things if we didn't want you to have fun, okay? Also, the stuff in the guys and girls bathroom. There's items, probably more so in the guys than in the girls. There's some items. I get that it is hilarious to move, IG-11 around the room. That's fine. And I will give you permission to move IG-11 around the room. Because somebody in either our group or the tutorial or both thinks that is the funniest gag they have ever come up with, is to move him around the room. That's fine if you want to move him. The other stuff in there, we've had 3 things that were broken because they got moved or knocked over or moved from where they were. And so don't, and it's not the cleaning people, because I've talked to them. They're like, no, we come in and they're like, this one's getting moved all over the place. I'm like, great. So just help us out. If you want to find it funny to move IG-11 around, and the girls are like, I don't even know what IG-11 means. Yeah, thank you, Madeline. Then you can move him around. But the other stuff, leave it where it goes, because it gets broken, and we don't want that to happen. So I just had to get all that out of the way first time. Let's make sure we're all good. Everybody good?
Yes.
Because we got a lot of good stuff here. Let's take care of it. Okay, we've done all that. Now we're going to have fun the rest of the time. I promise I'm not the mean guy, but I got to go over all that stuff. Okay, we are going to have a 4-minute party, and we're going to meet some folks. If you are one of our guests, we're not going to embarrass you. We're not going to have you stand up and point you out. But in a minute, we're all going to stand up. And when we do that, Courtney, we're going to have some of our teens. They'll come on up here. Some of our teens will be up here to greet you. And Courtney, if you're a first-time guest, what should you do once we start our 4-minute party?
If you're a first-time guest, come up and see one of these teen greeters, and you'll fill out a little information about yourself, and you will get a free donut just for being here.
Yeah, free donut's a pretty big deal. All you do is fill out a card, fill out a form, and everybody else, we want you to find somebody in the room you haven't seen in a while and say Happy New Year. I'm going to find out how to say Happy New Year in German during the 4-minute party. That's what I'm going to do. But everybody else, you stand up, find somebody around. Let's all have a 4-minute party. Let's go. I'm too ugly. I
great. This is great. Oh wait, is this thing on? All right. Wowza. Good gosh. Golly. 2026. What the big 2016. Can you guys believe it? We're finally here. We finally made it. Man, I don't know about you, but I got a feeling that this year is going to be absolutely magnificent. But not as magnificent as how you look magnificent tonight. All right, bye.
Guess what? Chicken butt.
All right. Hey, that's still the best in 3 months. All right. I've just been informed, everyone. I've just been informed that as of our most recent count so far, there's 154 students in the room. 154 students. That is still the best that's been in I think 2 months, maybe 3 months. I'll confirm that tomorrow. That's still pretty good. So we're not very far away. We're not very far away. We're like 26 away. 26 more people show up, then somebody's going to get a half-price Winterfest. So let's make that happen. I got a chance to meet some guests. We're glad that you're here. Courtney, you reminded me of something during the 4-minute party. Would you tell everybody what you reminded us of?
Yes, we have not forgotten you if you won a toy drive night and you haven't gotten your nbyg bucks. So if you want to see me, I could give out some and check y'all off, but then next week, if not, we'll bring you the rest.
We took a picture of everybody that won. We are going to give you your nbyg bucks for that. We're also going to give some nbyg bucks tonight. And because it's the first of the year, somebody's going to leave with 30 nbyg bucks tonight. 30 bucks just for showing up for church. That's big. Okay, I almost said that was I didn't. I almost did though.
Oh.
Okay, here we are, everybody. It is New Year. Some of you are about to be a year older. I can't remember what date. I think we went all the way through the end of the year at the last True North. I think we did. So our birthdays in the borough, everybody. Some of you are getting older. Here are the birthdays, January 1st to the 10th. Come on up. Come on up, 1st to the 10th. Hey! Are you the only one?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is she here?
That was pretty good.
Is she going to get mad at me or you? I don't see. Is she here? I don't see her. She's back in there? Oh, she's probably, yeah. We're just going to bust in the prayer room and drag her out here. Well, why don't y'all go get her and bring her out here? I'm not going to get in trouble for that. Rebecca's birthday. It's Rebecca's birthday, so we're going to sing to her as well. We'll give you an Abraham Lincoln sticker there. Oh, they are going to go get her. Hold on, you may not be alone. I have never seen those three move that quickly, ever. They ran like I said the building was on fire. I mean, if the building was on fire, I don't think we'd all run to the senior room. We'd probably run somewhere else. Like, did they even knock to say, are y'all praying? Or did they just bust in the door?
It's important.
Was there
Yes.
was there a prayer actually happening? Oh, not yet. Okay. I was like, they just went right straight in there. So, yeah, it's your birthday. So come on up here. We're going to sing happy birthday. But the way we do it in the NBYG is with 3 simple words. And those words are? Oh. All right. No, wait. Hey, how old?
15.
15. All right. No, we're not asking you how old. No, we have to find out. No, I'm sorry. I set that up wrong. No. We have to find out if it's somebody's birthday today. Whose birthday is it? Is it yours today? It is actually today. There we go.
It's your birthday today. Happy birthday!
There we go. I think next time we do that, you all should get involved. After the It's Your Birthday Today, everybody's got to say, Happy birthday, just like that. Try it again. Mike. There we go.
It's your birthday today. Happy birthday!
That was horrible. Maybe we should not have tried that. All right. And then we have to find out if somebody's a teenager, but you're obviously been a teenager for a while, so we're good. All right, now we're going to sing Happy Birthday. The way we do it is with 3 simple words, and those words are... Here We have a standing. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, you do not get to keep that, by the way. Yeah, do not lose that. Oh. Merv, they've gotten into your animal crackers, Merv. Apparently the birthday boys just feel like they can, they got into the lost and found. Some girl at Toy Drive left her earmuffs. We're just pretty much thinking everything is ours. Everything is ours. All right, very good. You guys basically just went and raided the room. Found anything you wanted in the room. All right, very good. You're a stand-in birthday boy. That's nice. Nice. Okay. All right, now we're going to sing. The way we do it in the NBYG is with 3 simple words. What are those words?
I'm still cool.
Oh, okay. I'm still cool. All right, here we go. It goes like this.
You're 1 year older than you used to be, and you're
still cool. You still got it. It's plain to see.
You're still cool.
Yes, your birthday today. That's why we're here to say, come on, that you're still cool. Everybody say happy birthday. All right, you guys have a seat. Thank you very much. Just put that back where you found it, please. Thank you very much. All right, great job. Great job. Happy birthday, everybody.
He's handing out animal crackers.
Do what?
I said now he's handing out animal crackers.
Yeah, okay. I'm probably going to get in trouble with that. Today's Wednesday. That means tomorrow is... It's a new year. What does that mean?
Time for Panera! Yay! Okay, this is so exciting because I feel like we haven't met in forever. And so I can't wait to be with y'all tomorrow at Panera. We're at the Panera on Memorial next to Sprouts from 4 to 5. If you've never come, please make tomorrow your first time. We'd love to see you there. We're going through James, and it's really just a fun time to fellowship, Bible study, eat. So come join us.
Also, as we say, just to remind you every week, every Monday night here in the filling station, The Landing, which is a CR ministry for students, designed specifically for students, is taking place in here. I continue to hear some great stories of students who say, you know what, I know that there's not as many people as there are at True North or at Class, but I need that. I needed that, and I need it every week. And so, if you have questions about that, you can come and talk to one of us. We also have some Landing volunteers in the room. We can direct you to them, and you can talk to them as well. Okay, we're going to jump on in. We have several things to do. We want to try to get all of it in because we're celebrating a new year. It's time for your picks of the week. Okay, we start off with some great picks from Dollar Day, which we did back in December. Dollar Day. Seniors, if you participated in Dollar Day, stand up. Those of you that showed up for Dollar Day, stand up. All right. You all had waited a long time to do that, and it was a lot of fun. And so thank you all very much. You all can have a seat. We'll show you a few pictures from Dollar Day. We headed out to Kroger. We had money given from you. We had money given from you all and some money from Toy Drive. We had $1,500 that we took to Kroger, turned it into 15 $100 gift cards. Then we headed out. We headed out all throughout Kroger and met quite a few folks, and there were some amazing stories that were there. I think, Derry Bear, are you here? Blake, you here? Is he here? Is he not here? Oh, because I really need somebody with good Photoshop skills. This picture, I enjoyed this picture. It looks like Blake's on the cover of an album that's going to drop. It looks like the Blake Derryberry album is going to drop in I don't know. So we need somebody with Photoshop skills to help us with that one there. And then we had, if I'm not mistaken, any of the teens in this picture here, Alexa, was this the lady that ran the daycare? Yeah, she ran a daycare, and she said I was having to decide whether we were going to feed the kids, if we were going to have any meat for the sandwiches this week. And she said I was having to make some choices. She said I can't believe she was going to go to Kroger, if I recall, to Walmart, but she said I didn't have enough gas, to get me to there. And I thought I just better go to Kroger. And she said I'm so glad I chose to come here instead. And I had a great conversation with her. A lot of great prayer moments happening all throughout the store. And there were just several pictures like this. I'm sorry if I left some of you out. I know I didn't get all the pictures, and I don't have time to show all of them, but it was really cool. Now, here's the thing I noticed. And I may or may not share some of these on Sunday morning. I'll be preaching Sunday morning, and I may share some of these on Sunday. But at Kroger, several of the seniors said, they were like, wow, how crazy is it that for the hour and a half that we were there on a Sunday night, so many people with such incredible stories came in to Kroger during that hour and a half. And they were like, I mean, there were some really powerful stories. One individual showed up who had just lost a family member, and it was their first time kind of venturing out. Somebody else had just come from the hospital. Somebody else had just lost their job. Somebody else ran the daycare. And one of the seniors said, everybody had a story. Like, everybody had such a, like, so what are the odds that they would all show up, for an hour and a half that we were there? And another senior, I don't remember who said what, but another senior said, well, either the Spirit of God pushes these people here and got them here, or, in fact, everybody in our community is going through something that is heavy. And the answer to that is probably yes to both. I think the Spirit of God brought people there that needed to be there, because several times I heard we were not even going to stop at the store. We were going to go here instead. But it was incredible. You were there that night. Mm-hmm. Do you have a memory or a moment that stood out to you when you went home that you just could not kind of shake or get out of your mind?
Probably the mom, the one who had lost their mom. It was just like she was just in awe of just like the love being poured on her in a time where she was feeling empty. So it was just a really sweet moment to see the seniors step up and be the ones to provide that for her.
Yeah. One individual was checking out. We used all our gift cards, used all our money, and we were getting ready to leave. The employees were there, and one of the students said, can we pray with them? And I was like, ask them. And they said, can we pray with you guys? And they were like, sure. It was later at night. Not many people were there any longer. The 3 workers came over. Our seniors surrounded the workers and prayed for them. One guy was at the self-checkout line right there, and he just put his bags down and bowed his head and just stood there and prayed the entire prayer. And then immediately after that, pulled out a $50 bill or $50 and gave it to us and said, hey, I want you to use this and help, one other person. And so we were like, all right, let's find one more before we leave. And it just kept happening. It just kept happening, and over and over and over. So everybody in the room, our prayers that you get to be a part of that. It's going to be an incredible night. And so that was fun. $1 Day. Seniors, you guys did a great job. You also recognize that you were just the hands and feet from the generous donations that other people gave. And I want to tell you one story, because I just heard this story. A friend of mine, not really a guy that I know all that well, Justin Taylor. He's a youth minister at the conference I just went to. He stopped me in the hall and he said, hey, Skid, he said, you don't know me that well, but I'm Justin Taylor. He said, I came to your class a couple years ago about the thing you do about the grocery giveaway. And he said, I just want you to know that our students did that over Christmas for the first time, like we did that this year. I was like, oh, cool. I'll tell my students about that. I'll see them Wednesday night. I'll tell them. He said, one of our girls came and she had got her first job in January and had been saving money all year long, putting it in an envelope for this purpose. And so in December, he said, she brought me an envelope, and this was money from her job, and handed me an envelope with $500 in cash in it, and said, I've been waiting to be a part of this, and I want this money to go to that. And it was so cool, inspired by you all doing this. And we do it because Carol Lamb sent a video 8 or 9 years ago and said, look what this church does. And we're like, we can do that, maybe on a different scale. We'll do it with our seniors. And so it's pretty cool how that spills over. So great stuff. Okay, we have some more pictures of the week here, because this coming Sunday, I know it's the brand new year and it just feels like we were just there, but this coming Sunday is Stones River Manor. Sunday night at 6 o'clock. And we're so excited to go back to the manor. I'm glad y'all are excited. Now, I can't make Stones River Manor more exciting, but I can make the announcement more exciting. I don't have a video, but I have some help. So let's see. We just have some pictures to help us out here. Okay, these guys went and did a photo shoot at JCPenney, so we're just going to use them to help us make the announcement. The first Stones River Manor Devo of 2026 is this Sunday night. There's some other facts you may need to know. So let's all line up and get ready to meet at the Manor at 6 p.m. Jansen, of all these pictures, I think that pose is maybe my favorite. Yeah, that moment. I don't know what's going on in your head there. What motivated that pose?
See, I'm just making plays for my team, so like,
Yeah. Seldom do you see the coach actually line up at the line of scrimmage with the line. Games would go better if the coach could actually get there and go, guys, you're going to tackle him and you better go tackle him. I was very confused, but this is a work of art. So let's keep going. There's more information you all need to know. We will share a time of singing followed by a devotional with the residents. This will help us grow closer. So I'll help us grow closer. Parker's face in that one is also classic. I don't even know. All of the smiles. Brady, what is going on, Brady? Brady's, okay. So just a heads up. Following the Devo, we'll go and eat at Cookout. So everybody knows that. And this is a great way to begin the new year with the people that you love the most. At this point, I'm thinking, what is the person at JCPenney thinking? I'm just supposed to take your word for that. They stopped and said, guys, I love this.
I love this.
Okay. Guys, all right. So let's support one another. Let's support one another in the new year. When we put our heads together, the NBYG can accomplish some pretty amazing things. That's really great. I got a Christmas card with all of them in there, so we'll see you Sunday. So, there you go. Thanks for making the Stones River Manor announcement a little more fun, guys. We'll see you all at the Manor. Hey, here's something that is a very big deal. That was actually quite good. We have our two people that are like, I'll be really funny, but the others, that was
Somebody
good.
over here today.
Hey, you've been waiting for this, and it's time.
It is time.
Oh, you know what? I just realized I think I forgot to edit one of these slides. I think I forgot to change one of these slides, so that's on me. The information on this first slide, if I even put it in there, is probably not going to be right. Oh. Here's one thing that you need to be aware of. It is that is ignore that information. Ignore the information. The missions meal is not March the 17th, so please do not. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to go, in case anybody's watching at home, I don't want them to get confused by that. I meant to take the text out of there to say that we are going to have our mission trip meeting on the following date. So if you are planning to apply, I don't say go, because not everybody that will apply will probably get to go. But if you are interested in applying to go, that is going to be on January the 25th. That meeting is going to be on January the 25th. The exact time will be announced, but it's probably going to be between 4 and 6 p.m. on that Sunday night. That's going to be for those that are wanting to go to Mexico. Now, I will say a word about Shiloh. Shiloh is experiencing some real financial challenges currently, and they're not entirely certain what their summer is going to look like, or if they're going to be able to pull off a full summer of camp. But they have said if we do even a limited session, like 1 or 2 weeks of camp, we really want North Boulevard to be a part of it in some way. But I can't guarantee that. But that's going to happen. That trip is only open to seniors first, and then we go to juniors, and it's a very limited amount of space for that. And first priority goes to those who have been the year before. But Mexico, you should plan on coming on January the 25th. You got it? Say got it. All right, so ignore the information. I forgot to edit that. My computer was acting up. I couldn't change it. The missions meal is in March, but it's not on the 17th. So hopefully I've not confused anybody. Now we have this. There we are. All right, so Winterfest is coming up, and it is February the 13th to the 15th. February 13th to the 15th. And listen carefully. I need all ears, all eyes. If you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, clap twice. We're going to send a link out for teens to sign up. It'll go out tonight, right after True North, or within some moments after True North. We'll send that out to you. That window of time is open for just a couple of weeks to sign up initially. If you want to go, I suggest you sign up quickly because we've reserved a certain number of spots, and once those spots are gone, we're not going to be able to get any unless we happen to be able to, and if we are, the cost will go up. So we've reserved our spots, and you want to get those in as quickly as possible. If we have some limited half-price scholarships are available, or even a quarter scholarships off, we can help some if you come and let us know. And if there's people in the room that are interested in helping people to go to Winterfest, you can talk to me or Courtney, and we'll help you out with that. So we want you to sign up quickly. You will sign up, you'll put in rooming requests. Those are requests. They are only requests. Okay? They are only requests. So make sure that you recognize that you're not guaranteed to be in a room with all of those people. We will do the best that we can, but we are going to try to get you close to the people you want to be with. But Winterfest sign up will go live tonight. If you got that, say got it. Got it. Okay, there was something else I was going to say about that, but I can't remember what it was. I will try to remember that in a minute. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to... there was one game that we were going to do to give away 30 nbyg bucks. I'm going to push that game to next week because we're not going to have enough time to do it tonight. We're going to push that to next week, and that means that the answer sheets that they have there, we're going to need you to leave those there because we're going to need those next week. So that was going to be for that game. But I do want to give away something tonight, and the rest of you, you'll have a chance to earn some next week. I don't even know that I cued them in on this, but we're going to go ahead and do it anyway because I think we can. All right, let's kick the new year off right. Before we go into worship, let's start the new year off right, everybody. And it's time for What's the Charge? Sorry, I give you no heads up. Sorry. I was very gracious of you. I said, sorry, I forgot to give him heads up. And he was like, I don't know if that was you're forgiven or if that was don't let it happen again.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just roll on with both. All right, now to get the person up here, let's do this. The person who thinks that they traveled the farthest away during the Christmas or New Year's break, if you went the farthest away from Murfreesboro, where did you go, Ezra? Arizona. I was just there. Where were you in Arizona? I was in Tucson. Oh, Phoenix. Okay. He's like, Phoenix? Oh, Phoenix. Yeah, the people in Arizona, actually, they said tell you hello. Okay, Arizona. Are you further than Arizona?
France and Germany.
France and Germany. Hey, but you're still cool. All right, Madeline. Anybody can beat France or Germany. All right, come on up. Come on up, Madeline. This is your chance. Have you done this before? First time. All right, Madeline's first time to play Guess the Charge. All right, we're going to see the charge here. Oh, okay. Got it. Okay, yes, we need to give her a mic. I'm sorry. Thank you, Mike. All right. You're going to get a chance to win some nbyg bucks. We're going to give you a chance to win 20. Okay, 20. You traveled a long way. You got a chance here. Everybody else, you'll get a chance next week to possibly get 30. And if there's 180 of you next week, somebody's going to get a half-price Winterfest. Somebody could really rack it up next week. They could really do well. All right. For the first time in 2026. You feeling it?
I hope.
I'm turning it over to you. Be sure you guys use your microphones.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Guess the charge.
50.
Lower.
25.
Higher.
30.
Higher.
40.
And that's the charge.
Look at there.
You couldn't even get
Wow,
it going.
I couldn't even get the timer started. Nice job. That was incredible. She's been watching how to play the game. That was good. That was a great way to start the new year off. Okay, boy, we really needed that. We needed that. It's time for us to transition into worship. Miss Sharon is not here tonight. She's not feeling well. But she did say, please put the prayer request under the door. So would you do me a favor? Would you go and turn the light on in that room just so that we can at least slide them under the door? And then you still slide them under there. We'll gather them up. She's going to come by and pick them up tomorrow. She says, I will come by or send somebody, and she's going to pray for these prayer requests all throughout the month of January. So you don't have to put your name on it. You can put your name on it. Miss Sharon is the one that sees those. We don't pass them around. Occasionally, Courtney and I might look through them to pray for some of the things that you all have written down. But that's for her. The papers are up here, okay? So we'll do that in just a moment. Our singers, if you guys could come on up and take your spot. And we're going to sing, and then we're going to continue the series that we started back at the beginning. And we're in no hurry to finish it because we're just going through Scripture. And Scripture is Scripture, no matter what book it's in or what series it's a part of. We're going to continue going through it, and we're getting to some places that are going to be helpful. And tonight's is going to be, I think, very meaningful to everybody in the room. I think it'll be helpful and something that I wish somebody had really told me when I was your age. So we're going to get ready to worship. And if you are a guest, you may or may not know the songs. That's fine. Just sing along if you can, or just listen. Everybody else, I want to encourage you to not be distracted by the people around you, in front of you, or behind you, or a device, and to just focus for a minute. We all kind of need some time. I've been excited I flew back this morning because of this moment. I wanted to just be able to hear you all worship together. So guys, let's go ahead and cut the lights out in the back. I'm going to invite everybody to stand up. And we're going to begin to worship together to kick off the new year. And guys, back there, we're jumping around with some of the numbers, so just be ready to go back there. We're going to start with the listening. Okay, let's worship again. Light of the world, you set down into darkness. Open my eyes, let me see. Beauty that made this heart adore you. Hope of a life spent with you. And here I am to worship. Here I am to bow down.
You are worthy. You are worthy. Worthy of praise. And I will follow. I will follow. And I will listen. I will listen. And I will love you. I will love you. All of my days. All of my days. And I will sing to and worship the King who is worthy. I will love him, adore him. I will bow down before him. I will sing down and worship the King who is worthy. I will love him, adore him. I will bow down before him. You're my Prince of Peace, and I will live my life for you. For you're my Prince of Peace, and I will live my life for you. 107. 107. Above all powers, above all kings, above all nature and all created things, above all wisdom and all the ways of man, you were here before the world began. Above all kingdoms, above all thrones, above all wonders the world has ever known, above all wealth and treasures of the earth, there's no way to measure what you're crucified, laid behind the stone. You lived to die, rejected and alone, like a rose trampled on the ground. You took the fall and thought of me above all powers, above all kings, above all nature and all created things, above all wisdom and all the ways of man. You were here before the world began. Above all kingdoms, above all thrones, above all wonders the world has ever known, above all wealth and treasures of the earth, there's no way to measure what you're crucified, laid behind the stone. You lived to die, rejected and alone, like a rose trampled on the ground. You took the fall and thought of me above all, crucified, laid behind the stone. You lived to die, rejected and alone, Now continue to bring in the new year. Here we go. These are the days of Elijah. Declaring the word of the Lord. And these are the days of his servant Moses, righteousness being restored. And those these are days of great trial, of famine and darkness and sorrow. So we are the voice in the desert, crying, preparing the way of the Lord. Behold, he comes, riding on the clouds, shining like the sun. At the trumpet call, so lift your voice. Oh, the year of Jubilee has rang, and out of Zion till salvation comes. And these are the days of Ezekiel, the dry bones becoming as flesh. And these are the days of your servant David, rebuilding a temple of praise. And these are the days of the harvest, the fields are as white as gold. And we are the laborers in the vineyard, declaring the word of the Lord. Behold, he comes, shining like the clouds, shining like the sun. At the trumpet call, so lift your voice. Oh, the year of Jubilee has rang, and out of Zion till salvation comes. Behold, he comes, riding on the clouds, shining like the sun. At the trumpet call, so lift your voice. Oh, the year of Jubilee has rang, and out of Zion till salvation comes. So lift your voice. It's the year of Jubilee has rang, and out of Zion till salvation comes. I wish I had a picture of Heidi McDaniel's face looking at me as though I just said, I hate your family. She was looking at me like, what are you doing? That was really funny. That was a great blessing. I thought, oh my goodness, what have I done before Heidi? And then I looked up and realized I got lost in the head of myself. You guys managed that very great. Good job. Thank you for that. That was a great blessing. Thank you. That was a good job. All right, let's continue to sing. We're going to go with 172. 172. I'll try to stay on the right lyrics. 172. No, that's not be it. 172. There we are. All right, here we go. I got to take a breath. I love the Jesus. I love the Jesus.
I realized my Bible may be in my bag. If somebody can bring my Bible up there, I left it in there. I literally walked in from the airport straight into here, and I left that there, and I'm probably going to need that. I think it's in my book bag there. We're going to continue on in our passage, our book of 1 Thessalonians, but I want to share just something with you that I learned yesterday. My New Year's resolution this year was to keep a journal and to write down the thing that I learned that day. Thank you very much. Write down something that I learned that day, and I'm trying to keep up with it every day. This is the thing that I learned today. For example, 2 days ago, the thing that I learned was that the first, you guys remember Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, some of you, right? Mr. McFeely, the delivery guy, speedy delivery guy, some of you remember Mr. McFeely. I learned that the first thing that he ever delivered on the Mr. Rogers television show, the first thing he ever delivered was an armadillo. That was the first thing he ever delivered. That was a fun fact. So I wrote that down. That was a thing that I learned today. I wrote down some other things that I learned January 1st and then January 3rd and 4th. I've been writing things down, and I learned something today. My friend John taught me something today. He taught me about the saguaro cacti. The cactus, bless you, the cactus that when you think of a cactus, you think about the tall cactus with the arms, right? That's when you picture a cactus, most of us. He said there are thousands of different breeds, or that's the word he used. I don't know that I use the word breed, but of cacti. There's thousands of different kinds of cactus. And he said that the saguaro, the ones that you normally picture, he said that they don't grow an arm, the arms off to the side of them, until they're 70 to 80 years old. And so if you see one, you know that it's over 80 years old because that's when they grow their arms. And so I wrote that down today. That was the thing I learned today. And I thought, hey, John, you made my journal. I'll share with you the thing I learned yesterday in just a minute. I just realized there are some other slides that I put in here first. But one, right outside of my hotel where I was there in Arizona was just kind of a beautiful, beautiful master. You'll see some of those cactus there. And then some of these that are up here, I was told, these are what they would call like babies because they don't have the arms yet. The arms like the cacti down here. So I'd never spent time in Arizona. I'd flown through Phoenix, but I'd never been in Arizona. So I enjoyed having some time there. The first night of the conference, we divided up into different rooms. And there are rooms for those who had been in youth ministry for 1 to 2 years. And then there's a room for those that had been in youth ministry from 5 to 10 years, and then there were those that had been in youth ministry for 10 to 15 years, and then they had a room for those that had been in youth ministry for 16 years plus. And so January the 2nd of this year marked my 30th year in youth ministry, 5 years in Knoxville. And then February, I guess, will be 25 years here. But so there was 6 of us in the room who had done youth ministry for over 30 years. There were 6 people there in the room present. Some of those faces, if you look around the room, you may see some people that you know, but you don't know most of those folks. But we all met the first night and we talked together, and that was really a blessing to just kind of be sharpened by other people that had done ministry for a long time. One of the guys that's done ministry 1 to 2 years, I got a chance to meet with him and go on a walk with him, and his name is Solomon Bone. Solomon is in Arkansas, and Solomon said, "Hey, I just want the opportunity to. Could I just schedule an hour with you to sit down and talk?" And I said, "I'll make a deal with you. Can we walk? If we walk, then we can do that because I got to get 10,000 steps a day, and I've been in classes all day, so let's walk." So we walked around. Solomon, I'm doing an event for Solomon's Church coming up soon in February, and so we were talking about that some, but he just wanted to talk about ministry. And in this picture, I snapped it because of this guy right back there. Now, I didn't want to get any closer to him than I needed to because we had already irritated him. We were taking a trip and we were walking around. There was a path, and the path that we're standing on, you can't see the path. It was a golf cart path. They had a very nice golf course at this hotel. And this guy was golfing by himself, and we were walking and talking, and Solomon put his hand up and he said, "Hey, we might want to quiet down. That guy is like analyzing his shot." And so, we got quiet. I said, "Let's just stand here and let's just watch." And this guy got out. He's looking around. He's going to drive the golf ball. He's looking way down there. He gets ready to go, and he goes back, and he swings really, really hard, and he hits the golf ball from about here to where Ben Jones is sitting. Ben, raise your hand. Yeah, that's how far the ball goes. And he kind of looks around, and he's an older guy. He looks like a golfer. He looks like somebody you would see on the PGA Tour. And I was like, wow. I told Solomon, I said, I was not expecting that level of incompetency to come from that guy. So then we just kept walking. I don't think I said it loud enough for him to hear me. Now that I'm reflecting on it, that may have been why he was so irritated with us later. So Solomon and I keep walking and we're talking, and then we see him again. And now he's putting, and he's putting from here to about George's water bottle. And so I said, we better be quiet again. He's going to putt. And it took him 4 tries. 1, went on the other end. 2, went back. 3. Like, I've never once played a game of golf. Never. But I've done a lot of putt-putt at Winterfest. I'm pretty sure I could have gotten that in at least 2 tries. And I told Solomon, I said, man, that guy, does he not look like a good golfer? Because he had like awesome golf clubs. He looked like a golfer. I was like, does he not look like a golfer? And Solomon goes, yeah. And Solomon, I think, was probably shocked that I was just being so open with my assessment of this. And I said, now, Solomon, you need to know that I'm not judging him because I play golf. I could not drive a golf ball, but like that guy, that's pretty bad. So then we get to another, and he's going to try to chip the 3rd hole. I was like, Solomon goes, hey, there's our friend again. And so I'm walking, and so he tries to chip the ball now, and he's going to try to chip it to the green, which is about to where that door is. And he chips the ball, and it goes straight up in the air, and then lands and spins back and rolls behind where he was standing, which I personally thought was impressive. To be able to put enough spin on the ball that it goes up in the air, lands, and rolls back. I wanted to go and say to the guy, I know that's not what you tried to do, but that you really impressed me with that one. Well, then Solomon and I realized we're probably not supposed to be walking. This isn't a walking trail. This is the golf trail. This is not the walk around and chat trail. So I said, how do we get back to the hotel? And he said, I think we go this way. We walked to the path, and it ran into a wall, and it stopped. I said, this isn't it. We could not find our way back. Now, y'all, what I would tell you is exactly what happened, and it's still fun for me to think about. I went to we tried another path. That didn't work. So finally, I said, we're going to have to cut across this green where the guy was, because we were standing, see where his golf cart is in the back? We were standing right on you can see the trail back there behind his golf cart. See it? That's where we were standing. I said, we're going to have to cut across the green to get back up to where we walk up the hill to get back to the hotel. And Solomon goes, well, we better do it before he putts because we don't want to make him, to mess him up. That's what Solomon said. To which I said, I don't think that's possible. I'm sorry. Y'all, if y'all had seen this guy, I was like, we might scare him into actually making the putt, is what we might do. So we walk by, and I say to the guy, because he's getting ready, and I'm thinking, should we wait? And he stands there for a long time. And then he's backing up and doing the thing, where he, like tests it out. And I'm thinking, this is really not necessary. So finally I said, sir, that's when he looked irritated. He looked back at us. I said, sir, I'm so sorry. We're going to have to cut across here to go across the green to get, we're lost. We cannot find our way back to the hotel. And so, you're me, Kenton. He puts his golf club in his bag, and he walks over, and then he says, and where are you boys supposed to be going? I was not expecting that to come out of the guy's mouth at all. And I said, we're going to the hotel. And he goes, I will give you a map. He goes and gets the map that's right there, and he pulls it over to you. He circles it. He goes, we are right here, and you follow this way. And I go, thank you. And then he says to us, and boys. I turn around. I was like, Solomon, I think he's talking to you, and maybe me. I turn around, and he goes, boys, wherever you are going, I suggest you get there before dark. I will call Solomon on the phone right now to say, tell our teens that is exactly what he said. And I walked away, and I got far enough away. I was right here when I said, Solomon, let's take a picture because I want to remember this guy forever. I said, just pretend like we're taking a selfie, which we were taking a selfie. And I turned to him and I said, And sir, I would recommend whatever you're doing, you practice your golf game. I didn't say that. I just thought it. We take the picture, and I turn to Solomon, and I said, when we were talking to that guy, were you thinking what I was thinking? Well, I had no idea. I kid you not. I'll call Solomon on the phone. We both looked at each other, and you're probably already thinking it. Somebody in the room is thinking about what I'm about to say. Solomon and I both looked at each other, and at the same exact time said, Bond villain. I felt like I was talking to a guy that was going to say, well, Mr. Bond, we meet on the golf course at last. And so I texted Solomon this morning. I said, I'm on my way back. He said, thanks for taking time to meet with me. And I said, and remember, wherever you're going, I suggest you get there before dark. I was terrified, y'all. I thought, let's just go. Let's go. And so here's this guy, and I'm never going to forget him. But I wanted so badly to say, sir, can I just interview you for just a second? Because I want to remember this voice so that I can do this in a camp skit or an impact skit. But I thought I'd already pushed my luck, so that didn't work. My friend Tim, some of you know Tim from the Disney videos that we've made in the past. Tim was there, and Tim today was going to go to this place right here. How many of you have ever seen this particular facility? How many of you in the room know what this is? This is what is known as BioSphere 2. BioSphere 2. Adults, the teens are not going to be old enough. You all remember the BioSphere experiment? In 1991 and 1993, scientists built a replica of Earth. Every ecosystem known on Earth is in this facility, and they were going to get 8 individuals, 4 men and 4 women, and put them in this facility, 3.1 acres, for 2 years. Seal them up where they could not come out. 2 years, and they were going to study the self-sufficiency in a sealed ecosystem for the purpose of understanding space colonization, or how we could survive if Biosphere 1 failed. What's Biosphere 1? Earth. So if Earth failed, could we build a facility that we could live in? And I'm thinking, no. I could have saved them a lot of money by just saying, if Earth fails, this is not going to help us. But here's what it looks like inside. It looks like a cross between the Opryland Hotel and Living with a Land at Epcot. Is kind of the vibe that's going on here. And here are the 8, what they called them, BioSpherians. The 8 BioSpherians, and here's a map. They had savanna, the ocean, tropical rainforest, deserts. They had all of it there. And here they are. They get these really cool suits, which I bet they were lizards underneath, is what it looks like to me. That's only an 80s joke for a few people back there in the back. But this is what the BioSpherians would go in there, and people would actually, school groups would come and watch them like they were at the zoo. They would come and check them out as they lived in this thing. And what they began to find, and this is what my friend Tim was actually going today, they found that they would grow trees, and the trees would get to a certain height, and they would fall over. Every time the tree would get to a certain height, it would fall over. Now, trees are needed to produce the things that, the whole oxygen, carbon dioxide thing was going to be a problem in there, and the trees would fall over. Every time they got to a certain height, they would fall over. And then one scientist said, we've spent millions and millions of dollars to make Biosphere 2, and yet they forgot to take something into account. They forgot to take into account wind, the effects of wind. There's no wind inside of here. And the scientists said, we now know why trees grow so tall. They grow tall. Listen carefully, because you're like, why do I care? I didn't come here for a science lesson. But some of you sitting on every single seat, every row, every aisle, and even the tables in the back, this is what's happening to some of us. Without wind, the trees did not develop resistance or strength, and their root systems were not strong enough, and the trees fell over. Because wind is necessary for a tree. As it grows, it pushes against the wind, and it gets stronger and stronger and stronger and taller. But without wind, the tree gets tall enough, and then it just falls over, because it has never had to push against resistance. Does it make sense? I've given you a very unscientific explanation, right? And my friend Tim said, I'm going to go to this place. He's touring it today. And he said, I'll send you some pictures. These are pictures that I just found sitting at the airport. because Tim said, I just thought this was cool. He goes, and I'm going to use this. I said, Tim, I'm going to give you credit for this, but I'm going to show some pictures tonight because I love this image that scientists said, in order to grow tall, the only way to grow tall and strong is to go through resistance as you grow. Did everybody hear that? The only way to grow tall and strong, I don't mean physically, but spiritually, emotionally, mentally, the only way to grow tall and strong is to experience resistance. And if you don't experience resistance, you get to a certain place and you just you can't exist. Now, these BioSpherians, the experiment didn't go well. This is a true story. I just found I'd forgotten what happened with them. By the time the 2 years were over, 4 of them were living on this side of the biosphere and 4 of them were living over here. Like they had a split in between themselves. They're like, we're going to live over here, you live over here, we cannot get along with you anymore. They also had a lack of oxygen because the plants were not producing all the stuff they needed and they lost lots of weight. It was a horrible experiment. It's still there today and it's still being used by the University of Arizona to do some climate and ecological science experiments, and it's still a helpful lab, but the Biosphere project never really worked. I don't care about the history lesson, but I care about the science behind these trees. So let me tell you, some of you, 2025, I will just let you know that 2025, if I may be so vulnerable with you, was one of the most challenging and difficult of my professional life, which affects you spiritually and emotionally. But 2025, now that's a sign that I live a pretty charmed life. If the things that I was dealing with were really difficult, then I'll take it. I'll take those things. So I'm not complaining to you. I'm trying to be transparent to let you know that it was the hardest year for me. I was really excited to see the ball drop on 25. When it dropped, I do what I do every year when the ball drops. When I'm at home, my family's normally, asleep. And I went and I got down on my knees and I just said, God, I say goodbye to that year and thank you for that year. I welcome in a new year. And I was like, I'm ready for a new start. Now, maybe I'm alone in that, but my guess is, I'm not going to make you raise your hands, but I just want you to know it's okay. The person standing before you, had a year that I wasn't exactly thrilled about, although some incredible things happened. I loved so much of last year. And I could point to all the things that we did together. Those were the highlights of the year for me. You all were not a part of the issue that made things difficult. It was great. But it was tough. It was a tough year. And I see this and I realize, you know what? If I didn't go through that, there's no way I grow tall and strong without it. So whatever you're going through tonight, or last year, or whatever's coming down the pike next week, resistance is important for you to grow tall and strong. And it's doing something to you. And without it, you're not going to last. You may have a better week without some of these things, but you're not going to have a better life. Okay? Does that make sense? I don't know that I'm going to have fully time to do the one thing that I want to do tonight, but like always, we can just keep pushing it down the road because we've got, we're here every week. I want to go back. The reason I shared that story with you here is because I want you to see how Scripture intersects with this. This is where we left off. This is where we left off. So when we could stand it no longer, we thought it best to be left by ourselves in Athens. We sent Timothy, and they sent Timothy. If you've been here all year long, August on, if you're a guest, you may be a little lost. We've been doing a study on the book of 1 Thessalonians. And we've set up long ago why the book was written, who it was written to, who all the characters are. So if you're picking up now in the middle, you're going to be a little lost. You can catch up, though. You don't need to know all that. But Timothy goes to meet with these young group of Christians, and he sends them there to strengthen and encourage them in their faith. These are some people that were experiencing resistance, and Timothy's like, hey, you guys need to know that to grow tall and strong, you have to go through these things. Now, I'm not going to ask you to raise your hand, so please don't raise your hands, but you can raise your hearts. Like some of you, I know, because you told me. Some of you I know because I can see it even though you've never told me. Some of you think we don't know because everything on the outside looks fine, but we can tell something's not right. Some of you have had a pretty difficult season. Whether it was all of 2025 or not, we don't know. so that nobody would be unsettled by these trials. You remember we ended 2025 with this word, this Greek word, which is the word he uses for being unsettled. And it's the word that you use when you talk about the wagging tail of a dog, that you wouldn't just be back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like just like a punching bag, right? Okay, so he said, I sent to find out about your faith. I was afraid that in some way the tempter had tempted you and that our labors might have been in vain. But Timothy has now come to us from you, and he's brought us great news about your faith. He's told us that you always have pleasant memories of us and that you long to see us, just as we long to see you. Therefore, brothers and sisters, in all our distress and persecution, we were encouraged about you because of your faith. For now we really live, since you are standing firm in the Lord. You see how this passage connects directly to the BioSphere example? You guys are standing firm, and some of you in this room, I'm not going to point you out because it would be a little embarrassing. Maybe you might need it to be encouraged. Maybe I should do it privately. But some of you in the room, I could literally point and say, you are a hero of mine. You know, you're 15 or you're 18 or you're 13 and I'm 54. But you're one of my heroes because of the way you are standing strong against some of the things that you are dealing with in your life. And I just want you to know that you're growing tall and strong because of that resistance. How can we thank God enough for you in return for all the joy that we have in the presence of our God because of you? I'm reading this, y'all, and that's the exact sentence that I would say about you. If I'm Paul and you're the Thessalonians, I'm saying, man, I've heard such good things about you, such good stories about you. Like, this is such a real book. Night and day we pray most earnestly that we may see you again and supply what is lacking in your faith. That's what True North is for. You show up to True North so that we can kind of give you something that you are lacking. Not to say you've fallen short, you're no good, but to say, let me give you something to help you through the journey. And then this is the picture we ended on. Our last True North, we ended with this picture. We talked about a missing piece of a puzzle, P-I-E-C-E, and how we compared that to P-E-A-C-E, to missing piece. And so, that whole passage, I'm going to sum it up like this. Here's my Cliff Note version, or Spark Notes, I guess as you all call them. We wanted to come see you. We couldn't. We sent Timothy. He says you're good. That's awesome. And you're like, seriously? It took us like 4 True Norths to get through that whole passage and you could have just put that slide up there and that's it? Well, maybe I could have done that, but no, he says so much more than that. At its essence, that's what he says. Now, here's what I need. I'm going to need quickly to get one of our older guys or girls, a junior or senior guy, to help me out with something. Okay, Alexa, you can help me out here. I need a guy to help us out with something. Okay, Nathan, come on up here. I'll get some others later. Nathan, come on up. Y'all come up to the stage for just a second. Question, are you guys going to be here next week? Should be next week. Should be here next week. Okay, just stand up on the stage. I just want you to see yourself in them, and that's why I wanted to pick a guy and a girl, so we have 2 people. Okay. 2 people, they volunteered. I didn't pick them. 2 people that if I were to ask them, which I'm not going to, if I were to ask them, are they experiencing resistance in their life right now? They would probably say yes, just to spoiler alert, just so you don't feel alone. They would say there are things in life that the wind is pushing against them, and it's getting pretty windy. Like I told Tim, I said 2025 was pretty windy for me. But I'm glad to know that the BioSphere, that helped me. His story helped me. You may not know who this guy is, but you may know the name Joseph Campbell. Does anybody here know the name Joseph Campbell? Okay. In what context would you know the name Joseph Campbell?
He's an author, right?
He is an author. Very good. Okay, very good. Very good. Nice. He wrote some books about mythology or about how mythology works. He specifically wrote a book called The Hero with 1,000 Faces. And he basically developed what all of you, by the way, everybody in the room is touched by Joseph Campbell, whether you know his name or not. Everybody in the room is like, oh, you know, because Joseph Campbell is the one who came up with the idea of the hero's journey. And if you take any literature classes or movie classes, or you study writing or television or comic books or anything, if you study stories, Joseph Campbell is the guy who said, here is the hero's journey and every story. You pick a movie. If I were to call out somebody here and say, give me a movie, we could put that movie in this, and that's what would happen. If we said to somebody over here, pick us a movie, and you gave me a movie, we could put his name right in there. Whether it was George Bailey from It's a Wonderful Life, Kevin McAllister from Home Alone, or Simba from The Lion King, or the Princess Bride, whatever it is, guy movie, girl movie, whatever. Any good movie is going to walk through the hero's journey. Now, Alexa and Nathan, there's two things as you represent guys and girls in this room. You're going to start something this week. We're going to start something this week that we're going to finish next week. So even if you don't know these two, or you're younger or older than them, I just want you to see yourself in them. If you're good so far, say, I'm with you. Okay. There's something to remember. I developed this word restored. Restored. So in that, there's another word that when you first see that, what's the word you think you see? Restored. Okay, restored. To restore something is to take it and it's kind of dilapidated, and you're going to restore it, kind of like stock it back up with all the things that it had when it was good. You're going to restore it. Okay, everybody with me on the word restore? So restored is a word that I don't think I'm the first person to ever make it up. I just suggested that with some friends, we were walking through something, and I said, let's just talk about being restored. What do you think, somebody? What do you think being restored means? What do you think it means? Somebody raise a hand. We only got a few minutes left to kick this part off. Who's got one? Yes. To rewrite your story. Good. That's a great way of explaining it. To take a story that you are in. So Alexa finds herself in a story. I don't mean her whole life, but maybe a story that's going on in her life. Nathan has some story that's going on in his life that he's like, I don't like the way this story is going. Now, I don't want to embarrass anybody. I'm not going to make you overly share. But everybody, if you're willing to raise your hand, how many of you have a story going on in your life right now that you just like, I don't like the way this is going? Okay. Now, when I ask a question like that, oftentimes I'll see some people that unabashedly will just say, yep, they don't care if there's anybody else in the room. Yep, that's me. Other people will look around the room to make sure their hands go up before they put their hand up, because they're like, I don't want to just raise my hand with nobody else raising their hand. And honestly, we all have stories that we don't like the way they're going. Everybody in the room. And so there's something that you need to remember. And Paul is going to get to the Thessalonians and say, you guys are right now in a story that is very difficult, but there's something you need to remember, Alexa, Nathan. A good story doesn't happen by accident. I mean, Lord of the Rings did not happen by accident. Harry Potter did not happen by accident. Somebody had an idea and came up with characters. And by the way, those are two excellent examples to run through the hero's journey. And they said, they thought about it. They came up with characters. And guess what? Raise your hand. In Lord of the Rings, does Frodo go, does he experience resistance? Does Harry Potter experience resistance? Does Luke Skywalker experience resistance? Yeah. I mean, like all of these characters, they went through something. They go through something. A good story doesn't happen by accident. Okay, now this is where we're going to start, and we're not going to finish here. But I would like for you all to invite somebody to come next week. Okay? And I'm going to give you some homework. The two of you volunteered. You got very simple homework. Okay? You're going to be and I'm going to tell you your homework after we dismiss. I want to tell you all without anybody else hearing the homework. It's very simple. Don't freak out. Like, why did I volunteer? That's the last thing I need. But it's going to be easy, and it's going to be great. It's going to be a blessing to everybody out here. But right now, Alexa is in some situation. Nathan is in some situation. You are in some situation where you are the character. You're like the main character. Okay, I'm not saying you're like, wasn't God the main character? Don't get me confused. Just right now in a story, you're the character of this story, and it's a story about Alexa. It's a story about Nathan. It's something that you're going through. Now, as you can imagine, Alexa, when you look at that diagram behind you there, just tell me give me a quick thought before we wrap up tonight. What do you think when you see that? What are your thoughts?
Probably a main character.
Okay, there's a character. Okay, as far as the whole graphic, what's going on? What's going on with this graphic, Nathan? What are you thinking?
There's some missing parts to it.
Oh, there's some missing parts to it. Okay, now you're onto something. You can imagine that there are some missing parts, and we're going to see some other things that probably look like this graphic right here. Now, is it going to be another character, another character, another character, another character? Is it going to be other words, emotions? What's it going to be? What's going to be there? What we're going to do next week, when we have more time, we'll start with this. You're like, how does this tie into Thessalonians? You'll find that out next week. But you should only come back next week if you are going through something now that you don't understand and kind of wish you weren't having to put up with or deal with. If that doesn't describe you, then you can find some place to go next week if you want to. But if you're going through something that you say, I don't understand why I'm going through this, I don't understand how I'm going to get to the other side of this, I don't understand why I'm feeling the way I am about this, if that describes you, then you should make plans at least for next Wednesday night to show up. Because we're going to walk them through this. I'm going to give them some homework that's going to be pretty, I think they'll do a good job with it. And then we'll pick back up here next week. Okay, everybody good? And then we'll compare what does this mean about Thessalonians. We're going to try to supply something that I think might be lacking in your stories. I'm not saying you're not doing good. I'm just saying there's something that's, the reason you're struggling is there's something missing. I'm trying to help you, not make you feel bad about your story. We clear? Okay. It was such a blessing to be with you all, to worship with you. I'm going to say a prayer for you, and then I'm going to give them some homework. I know of at least one baptism that we're going to have next Wednesday night after True North, and there may be some others also coming down the pike as well. And that's a great way to start off the new year. And everybody, we hope to see you back next week. It was really a blessing to be with you. God, we thank you for a new year. We thank you for our time together. I thank you for all the prayer requests that are on those sheets of paper and the honesty with which students poured their heart out. In some cases, God wrote things down that they don't necessarily want the whole world to see or know, but they put them on paper. And God, help them to fully understand that just by writing them down, that was not just an expenditure of ink on paper, but that was courage that was pouring out from them to say, this is something that I don't know how to handle. And that takes a lot of vulnerability and humility. And so, God, I just honor them for doing that. Thank you for Miss Sharon, who's going to be praying for those things. And God, I thank you for those that are tuning in online. I'm thankful. God, I know that Garrison's watching online, and I forgot to mention his birthday. And I thank you for the fact that we have members of our youth group that are watching from a distance and are a part of this group, even though they're separated by miles. And so, God, I thank you for all of those students. Other youth groups that I know watch our gathering on other nights and get together. And God, we don't even know who they are, but we're thankful for them. And I'm thankful for the students in this room. I'm thankful for Alexa and Nathan and their story next week and what it's going to do to encourage everybody in this room. And it's through the name of Jesus that I hand all of these students to you, and we all say together, amen. Hey, God bless you guys. Have a great